And speaking of the transportation issues, passenger trains, of course, will be a major part of that legislation. Northern Lights Express, of course, will be looking for some of that money. High-speed train from Duluth to Minneapolis. Do you think a high-speed passenger train between these two communities is going to become a reality?
4 years.
4 years.
In 4 years, we will have ridership between Duluth and the Twin Cities on Northern Lights Express. It would have happened sooner if Rudy Perpich had remained governor. He was a strong advocate for this. He was the last governor to put funding into Amtrak. He and I talked many times about a Midwest high-speed rail initiative. We're now going to have that too, thanks to President Obama, who committed $8 billion of the recovery funds to a national high-speed passenger rail system in the 12 Amtrak corridors that our committee authorized last year.
Do you think that the Northern Lights should have a higher priority than, say, a high-speed train between the metro areas of the Twin Cities and Chicago?
No, those are two complementary initiatives. The Northern Lights Express is being funded under the Federal Railroad Administration program that I created, and eventually could have access to the Railroad Infrastructure Loan Program or to General Revenue Grant funding to build it. The Midwest High-Speed Passenger Rail Initiative has 11 corridors, Chicago as the hub for the Midwest Initiative, going west through Detroit to Cleveland, south to St. Louis, I said going east to Detroit, west through Wisconsin, eventually to the Twin Cities. That operates on a separate program. We will be way ahead of that initiative with the Northern Lights Express.
Some people erroneously put those two in the same category, as in competing with the same dollars, but it doesn't sound like the case.
No, they're two separate funds.
Just last week we had on the show, Congressman, folks talking about the intermodal new transit hub in downtown Duluth, along with the Northern Lights Express, that they could also receive some federal funding that will bring together the DTA, the Duluth Transit Authority, this Northern Lights Express, and create a whole new intermodal hub. Many people talk about those kinds of things that are going to get federal money as pork barrel projects. There's federal money earmarked for those. How do you see that?
You have a very progressive, open-minded mayor who is an innovative leader, who thinks out of the box, who has a unique gift to bring people and interests together. And he has, Mayor Ness has brought together the business interests, the transportation sector of the state, the city, the county, to develop this multimodal, intermodal initiative. It is necessary. Duluth is a transportation center. It is a port city, it is a tourism center, it is a university town, it is a health center for all of northeastern Minnesota. It needs this type of transportation mobility that a multimodal, intermodal center will establish.
So you would work for that earmark?
That is in the interest of the public, it's in the interest of the city, it's in the interest of the Northland, and I will support it.
Now, there were reports this week that you would like Congress to enact a mileage-based tax on cars and trucks to pay for highway programs, and not wait 10 years and study it, but get it moving. Is that something that you support, and why?
Those remarks were taken way out of context in a general discussion of the future of transportation funding. If we do nothing, if we just stay with current levels of funding, 18.4 cents for the gas tax and additional 7 cents, 25 cents for the diesel tax on trucks, we will run $90 billion short in 6 years. The trust fund could well be in a deficit next year. We have to have additional financing. The highway user fee established in 1956, 3 cents on a gallon of fuel at a time when fuel was 30 cents a gallon, represented 10% of the cost of fuel. It has created a dedicated revenue stream to assure that at the beginning of the project you'll be able to see the completion of that project. It has been and will be the cornerstone of our funding for transportation out into the future. There are a number of other initiatives. There are congestion pricing, there is tolling authority, there are tax credit bond authorities, a whole host of things, and vehicle miles traveled as experimented by the state of Oregon a year or a year and a half ago.
And this would
they have to be evaluated. It will take years to install the technology on 253 million vehicles in America.
And that would be GPS technology?
And it'd be a GPS-based technology. The University of Minnesota Center for Transportation Studies has experimented with the technology to protect privacy interests, to assure that it be an equitable and fair distribution of dollars. But think of this. The gas tax only measures your consumption of fuel. A vehicle miles traveled revenue stream would measure the impact of the vehicle on the road surface. Trucks have a far greater impact on road. One truck at 80,000 pounds has the effect on a road surface of 9,600 passenger cars going over the same road surface. So long term, we have to be open to new ideas, see whether they will work, and how they fit into an overall concept of transportation. We can't talk about or even discuss funding sources until we have a new delivery mechanism that people can trust. In the major metropolitan areas of this country, people are spending 40 hours a year in their cars longer than they would if they could drive at posted speeds. We have to cut that transportation waiting time down in half. That has to be a goal of the next program.
So bottom line, no time soon on the mileage tax, but something that you think should be looked at in the future.
I think we have to be open to a wide range of financing mechanism. VMT, vehicle miles traveled, is being used in Germany on trucks, being used in other countries. We have to consider it, but it has to be done in an open, deliberative process.
All right. Well, Congressman, thank you very much for coming in and sharing some of your insight. We appreciate it every time you visit us.
Good to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.